Now, as you were saying, you said, what is it with the male armor always being so, you know?
Yeah, so like, all right, right. So here's my theory. Like, I get that like the reason why they do what they do is for sex appeal. That's fine. I just feel like if I were to ever create a game with a concept art, it would be instead of like for females, what I would do is like, you know how in games, uh, take Terra for example, how they have like, oh, if you want to have like a costume, you could do this for purchase. Otherwise, it's totally free to play and you can do whatever you want,
Right.
right? So you have like you could buy your mounts, you could buy the pets, or you could buy costumes and accessories and things like that to like accessorize your characters. What I would do in my game is the sex appeal armor that you would normally encounter in video games as the natural armor to wear to that's more powerful. Fuck that shit. I would just put it as a costume to wear over the character. Because like if I were to make an MMORPG, I would have it where not only do the men get the more bulkier, useful armor that makes sense that would protect their body, I would do the same for the female because it doesn't
But
make
hold
sense to
on,
wear
like
a bikini
you
in
can
an
do
army.
you can do that on here already if you buy like an outfit from the Terra store. It just kind of
Right.
it's like a
But what I'm saying
mod
is like
mesh over the armor.
right, but what I'm trying to say is like instead it would be vice versa. So like in the game you would naturally already get the full proof protected armor that makes sense, and then if you want the sex appeal, you could buy the sex appeal.
Oh, so you'd buy the sex appeal without really having any effect. It won't have any effect on your attributes or anything. You just buy it as like a
Right,
mask. Yeah.
exactly. So yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like using Terra as an example. But like, cause like
Hmm.
I've always been wanting to make my own video game or MMORPG,
Right.
and I've never understood why people did the sex appeal. Like I get it, that's what draws more people in, but you'd get even like a bigger crowd, especially from the female aspects, to see that women can like also wear armor that isn't so degrading.
Hmm.
Like, oh yeah, this game is all about boobs and shit. Well, my game would be, oh holy shit, women actually get the same kind of protective armor that makes sense for their bodies just as men do.
Yeah, with their
Awesome.
cleavage is open as hell, and they can somehow their armor is stronger than a
Yeah.
full armored
Like
not. Yeah.
like and what's funny is like a lot of people complain about some of the games and I'm just like, yeah, the reason why it's like shit the way that it is because their main focus was to make sure that the boobs can jiggle or the butt can bounce. I just figured like if I were to make a game, it would just be like, hey, look at this really awesome heavy armor that like a fucking Templar would wear, and it's like so bulky and amazing and strong and empowering, and it gives you all these benefits. And if
Hmm.
you don't like that look, here you could buy the more sex appeal version where you're practically wearing nothing but a bunch of
Like,
string.
okay, here
It doesn't diminish the stats that you get.
we're gonna offer you the awesome armor, but if you don't like the awesome armor because there's a lack of skin, you can always here you go. Now you can walk around looking as trampy as you want to.
What brings you here?
Yeah, like
In other
if
words.
you want to look like a thought, you got to pay for it.
Oh, in your game, you're like, okay, you want her to look like a tramp? Well, you can make her look like a tramp, but you have to pay like 200 something points for it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
$5 will get you 500 points. I'm just saying, like it does cost this much. I mean, you know.
If you want her
Not
to
to say
run
that shit
around
wasn't
in a
bank-relating or
pin-up
anything.
bikini, that's fine with me. You just gotta pay the $5. And look,
Right.
and it's just like, look, I haven't abandoned my ladiness whatsoever. I have a nice variety of things you can put on her if you're gonna go for that.
Wonder like if you want to make a MMORPG with like the whole story background and everything. I wonder who you'd have to go to like sell your idea and then see it come to life.
Pornhub. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, right. Because you create an avatar and it's like a chat room, but instead of just word bubbles, it's avatars that you personally created, and you could do whatever you want. That's me personally. I would rather have a game that has a story, like a solid story, like. Think of
Uh
Skyrim. There's the main story and then all these bunch of side quests. That's
huh.
like almost every fucking RPG game out there.
Of
I
course.
want to make that, but then also have like the more mature side for the adults personally who want to have that option. Like, oh, if that's your kink, sure.
So you
Add
want to
that
make
to the
something
game
for
and
those
then make
players,
it so.
like say, in Mass Effect or Dragon Age, when it came to the romance system, pretty much. You would make something for them if they
Right.
want to explore
Right,
that
like
quest
in Mass
further.
Effect. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
In Mass Effect, you get to choose who you can romance. Hell, even Star Wars Online, there are characters that are available to romance.
Not yeah.
I want to create a game where, hey, that NPC looks really hot. I want to do something to him, and then I want to romance him. Okay, you can romance him all you want. It's like Skyrim. If you wear a certain medallion in Skyrim, I think it was like the Amulet of Mara.
I think so.
Basically, it's just like, hey, you're single. I'm into you. Want to get married and do things? Sure. In my game, it's just more or less that you can put the status of, hey, like you make the first move saying flirt, and then like, oh, you're single because you're flirting with me. Okay, we can do that. And then if you want to marry said person, you can. If you want to date somebody,
Question is, yo,
you want to have
Yuffie.
a kid with that person, guess what? You can.
Question is though, would you write out the whole?
But it'd be adopted.
It would be because would you write out the whole thing though? If because with that you start out, say you start a relationship with them, you would have to write out each part of that story. Would you write out the whole thing?
I know, I'd have to write it for like every person.
That's what I'm saying. Like, would you write out that? That would be a motherfucker. Like to write all that, you would need
Yeah,
like
no, it would.
exotic.
And
You
then
would
like
need
you
like
kind of want
erotic writers
yeah,
or
and then
romance people to help you
yeah, I know.
do that shit.
I would need erotic writers. And then like the worst part is I would have to find as many voice actors as I possibly can.
You gotta be hiring indie talent
Or
from freaking.
I could do what yeah, I could do what they did in Elder Scrolls. I could do what they did in Elder Scrolls where it's just like, all right, all the miners share the same voice actor. All female merchants share the same voice actors. They're Khajiit, all the same voice actors for both female and male. They share the same voice actors. The only
Oh,
ones that are different are the ones that are important to the plot of the game.
okay. Wait a minute. Who did you romance in Mass Effect? I mean, well, depending on what game.
All right. So in the first game, I didn't romance nobody. I didn't. Kaden wasn't interesting, and Ashley wasn't interesting. The one
Ashley's a
that was
bitch. Yeah.
Garrus, right? So in the second one, when Garrus, yeah. So in the second one, when Garrus was a romance, I'm like, all right, cool. But then
You like
Thane came
Garrus?
along, and I'm like,
Oh.
boy, Thane.
Garrus. Wow. Uh
Thane
huh.
was my boy until I found out that he, dies of cancer. That made my heart sink so hard because in the third game, like if you stay true to him, oh my heart, because there's like this one scene where he finally passes away, and I think it's like after the if you get the party DLC where you invite everybody to and you host like the this is our last mission party kind of deal. There's a
Yeah.
point where you watch like all the videos like at his memorial or whatever, and his son is there, and then his son and everybody leaves, and then like
Oh.
you get like this image of him that like stays behind like all Jedi shit. He's just like, you are a good commander, Shepard, and that's why I love you kind of deal. And I'm just like crying, snot bubbles and tears, and I'm just like,
It does get you
oh
by
my heart.
the. It does get you real good. See, I've only I never
Yeah.
finished the third one. I stopped at two for reasons, but I didn't get to the third one. I only played the demo for the third one.
The third
But
one is just as good. I actually really like the third one.
oh yeah, from what I
It's
played, it
just
was fucking
so
amazing.
emotional.
Yeah, from what I was playing, it was
Yeah,
amazing.
no, it's great.
See, no, see,
Yeah,
see. The
and
thing
then like
is,
what I'm
oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just about to say, like, for me, it's like I wanna. I already pre-ordered Andromeda, and I have the game still. I have yet to play it, and I keep hearing good and bad about the game. And I figured everyone has their own opinion until they actually play it. So I'm gonna play it for myself and see. As long as like the mechanics are the same, I'll be fine. If it's not, and they actually change it up, again, we'll see. But like, I love the first, the second, and the third game equally. I love them all. I mean, sure
Of
they could
course.
like fix a few things, like kind of like better explain the Reapers and like this. And I did appreciate when they did come out with the DLCs to help escalate that along.
Yeah.
It's just, and I get everyone gets mad saying like, oh, that should have already been included if I paid this much for this game. I'm like, right, but at the time they couldn't have afforded to do so. Like it really boils down to their sponsors and their time because the sponsors give them a time limit to do
Yeah.
it. Like they could have a shit ton of money to get the shit, but if they have a time limit to release it because of what their sponsors
They're
say,
cranking the whip.
then they
Yeah,
have to abide by that.
they've got to
And that
fucking
shit
They got a
fast.
damn deadline. You got to make your deadline in the industry, and
Right.
sometimes
Yeah.
it's really fucking
And
cutthroat. But
basically,
mm-hmm.
yeah, right. And it's like it's super shitty of people to just be like, "Oh, this game is like fucking shit." And they just like heart it down. I'm like, "Dude, it's not the
Oh no,
creators of
lie. The
these
games are
games who make a
fucking.
shit game for purpose.
They're
It's just like they only
masterpieces.
have so
Yeah.
much time and they're only given so much, yeah, they're only given so much to work with. And when they don't
Right.
have enough to work with, regardless of money, then you get what you get. And then later down the road, if they come out with like DLCs or something, that's them basically saying, hey, we kind of need your money to help us to create better shit for the next game or
Mm-hmm.
for, more content to be better because, and it's like, the way I see it, it's like them saying, listen, we know we fucked up. We're sorry. We're trying to
Right.
make it better, but we can't unless we have your support. Because as long as it shows the margin of their, credibility of game, like for example, people I guess the way I could say is like there's a difference between people who buy it and people who bootleg it. People who
Mm-hmm.
buy into the genre of the game that came out, and support that company, the
Yeah.
more amazing and better shit will come out in the future because they have the backup, they have the money, they have everything. Versus the people who bootleg it, when you bootleg something, that prevents them from having those sales because if they don't get the sales, then that company gets shut down. Here's another good one that got shut down. The people who created what was it? Amalur, Kingdom of Amalur: The Reckoning. That game had such amazing potential.
Now actually, I
And
played
Fable had a baby.
I played Kingdom of Amalur like a few times. I had trouble getting into it, but I did play it. I had no idea that they had gone under though.
Right, yeah, no. All right, so okay, so basically what happened is this, right? So
Yeah.
Kingdom of Amalur, when it first came out, had like in my personal opinion, like when I first saw it, I'm just like, I had my doubts, but then when I actually bought the game, oh my god, I love that game so much. Like, I had put, I believe, 60 some plus hours into that game
Yeah.
just because I'm doing all these side quests and stupid shit. Like, it is such a vast thing, and
I
like
tried
you
it.
have
I tried it. I
three,
had trouble getting
three or
into it. I
two
don't know
DLCs.
why. I don't know why I had such a hard time. I don't know what it was, but I tried multiple times. I even tried to say, okay, let me put in like 4, 5, 6 hours into it. And I had such a hard time. I don't know why. I don't know what it was. I don't know. I guess it just wasn't really clicking too strong with me. I don't know why. It's weird. But
It,
they had a good
it's
setup.
okay.
It
No,
had
it's
a
fine.
good
Like,
setup for what they were attempting though. I can see that.
yeah. Yeah, the one thing that I did enjoy was about the game is it's like like I said, it's like as if the Legend of Zelda and Fable fucked each other and then had a love child. That is Kingdom of Amalur.
Oh yeah.
That's my opinion. Those are my thoughts.
Of course, of course.
Um, the reason why I love it, yeah, the reason why I love it so much is because they went into like the fate aspect of how like there's the summer, there's like the summer, there's the winter, and those are like the two different sides of the Fae lore, and then there's also all these different races, and it had its own thing, and I appreciated it solemnly so deeply. Like I loved
See you
the
for
shit out
you
of it.
know the
I love
story
it to
better
this
than I
day.
do. That's definitely I.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
the story from I haven't gotten too far into the storyline of the game because I haven't played it in a while because work, 2-year-old and shit happens.
Trust me, I
But
know.
I
I
got far
know.
enough to the point. I got far enough. Yeah, I got far enough to the point where, from my understanding, there was somebody of the Fae Kingdom. I don't remember if it was winter or summer, who decided that you know what, I don't like this piece. This is bullshit. I'm better than this, and you are all beneath me. And
Oh
went dark
boy.
side and turned his followers the same dark and he called himself something like a new race. I don't remember. It's like think of drow, but not really. I don't know how to better else to explain it. It's just like a darker fae. And he learned all these ancient magic and was able to construct all of these like demons and things, but they're not really demons. It's just like these weird dark fae
The
ish
typical
creatures.
RPG
And
narcissist
basically
villain, of course. Naturally.
yeah, yeah, basically the generic villain. Basically the story is that this one gnome, he was working on a fountain of life where basically like you could achieve by like it was like it's yeah, just basically as I say, it's like Fountain of Life or something like that.
Uh huh.
And you on the battlefield ended up dying, and then your body was being taken over to the underground gnome place thing where you were going to be experimented on or
Underground
something
gnome
or disposed
place.
of. But then yeah, anyway, and then all of a sudden you wake up. And so it's just like it was kind of like nobody could explain you woke up, why you came, like you literally were dead, like DEAD, dead. And you just randomly like, I'm not dead, like literally pulled a mighty python, like, nope, not dead, still here. And fucking the gnome's like, oh shit, you're the one that actually, wow, my experiment did work, yes. You have, like, you are the fated destined one. You have to do this. You're the only one that can, and blah 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 blah. And everybody gets massacred. Blah blah blah. Whatever. You survive.
Yeah.
Then you run into, I guess, a Templar guy who could read your fate. And then I guess at that point you get to choose what class or something else. And then, like that whole like startup of the campaign shit. And basically he can't read your fate. And
Yeah.
you are a fate controller. Meaning in the gameplay you have this action time where you press, I think it's like RT or something, one of the buttons on your controller that basically ultimately slows down to stopping time and only you can run fast. So that gives you time to like kill off your enemies, and then when time resumes they're all dead. And that works so splendidly when you're fighting a boss or trying to keep somebody alive. So
No shit.
anyway, so basically you end up becoming this thing called a fate weaver, and you get to weave your own fate and destiny. And your Templar friend is just like, I'm going to investigate this because something isn't right. This could tear into the time fabric of reality and blah 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 blah. We'll get to the bottom of this. And then there's like this dark elf lady who's like, oh yes, I know your history and blah 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 blah, but I'm a mysterious woman, and you can also romance me if you want to, but you'll never know.
Oh god.
And so, yeah,
Yeah.
and so then you have the option to either follow her or follow your Templar friend. And that's where I'm at the part right now. I either can go investigate more with my Templar friend or meet up with my Dark Elf friend. And I don't think it doesn't, and to my knowledge, I don't think it matters which one you do first. It's just a matter of they're both part of the main story because they're both trying to achieve the same thing, which is good things and not bad things. And the one thing that I'm most disappointed in is if you're going to introduce a romance option, there have been so many characters that I wanted to romance in that game, and I cannot romance them. One of which is
Yeah, I
this
know the
one big
feeling. I had that with
guy.
Dragon Age a few times actually. I'm just like, why
Oh,
can't I get
oh,
this
fuck yeah.
person? I don't
Fuck
want
yeah.
any of the fucking character.
Right.
I didn't want a good majority of them. I mean, I romanced Isabella.
Yeah.
I romanced. I did something kind of trampy. I romanced
Mm-hmm.
Isabella, but married Meryl at the same time. And my other character liked Fenris, and it was like you had this kind of this weird, I was just like, how come? And then you meet so many other side characters. You're like, who is that? Wait a minute, why can't he's not? You can't romance
Right.
that person? What the fuck?
I
The
know, I know.
chemistry seems
I
to be
get so
great.
mad. I got so mad. Yeah, like how dare you introduce me to like another fantastical character that I can't romance? Like shame on you.
God. Yeah, that's so freaking weird.
Right. Like for example, in Dragon Age 1, there was all right, in Dragon Age 1, I liked Alistair and I liked Crow, whatever
Mhm.
his name is. Zephyrin, there we go.
Mhm.
I love those two, but most of all, I wanted to romance Sten hardcore. Wanted to romance Sten.
But they wouldn't let you do
He was
it.
the Quinari guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just like not all about it. But then he calls you his Kadan, meaning my heart. I know Quinlock, don't judge me.
Wait a minute. You studied the
And
whole
I'm like, why
Quinari. You
can't you
studied the
call
whole
me
Quinari
your
language,
heart if we're
Yuffie.
not in love? Anyway, so like I'm telling him like how dare you call me Kadan if I can't romance you? That's not fair. Don't be like my heart. And I'm like, I know I want to be your heart fully. Like here is where it starts with me and Sten, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
make this rogue elf and I tried romancing Zephyrin, but I got to that like blockade of him. He's just like, we have to end this. It will not work, and I'm abide by this. And I'm like, where is the strategy guide for me to move past this? Because my game glitched to the point where I can't, and now I'm fucked because I really want Zephyrin and I to work out and actually.
Do a
Anyway,
little
so there's this
snoo
one point where we decide to go. Yeah. So then there's like this one point where Morgan's like, hey, I want you to kill my mom. So go get the grimoire for me and I'll be happy. And I'm like, bitch, I love you. Since you won't be lesbian for me, I'll be lesbian for you and do the deed. I don't care. I'm a dark daylit elf. Let's do this. We're gonna win
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
So I was playing the evil route and I'm like, fuck it, why not? And so
The evil route's always much
I
funner,
didn't take
Yuffie.
Morgan
Much,
with
much
me.
funner.
Right. So I took, who did I take with me? I took Alistair. I took what's the dwarf's name? I forget. Ogren. I took Sten. And I think or no, I'm sorry. I take that back.
No,
Who
Varric.
did I take
Varric
with
is
me?
in the second one. Varric. I was thinking Varric, but Varric's the second in the second Dragon
No,
Age.
yeah, Varric was in the second one. Ogren was
Mm-hmm.
in the first one. So I know I definitely took Sten with me. I
Yeah.
took Sten. My character was a rogue. Um,
Oh, I can't. I don't know what it
who
is,
else
but
did I
I
take with
can't
me? It was like
stand
me
the
and Sten.
rogue. I can't get used to the fighting style at all.
I always went with the long range weapons because I like playing long range. I was never used to playing close range until later on when I decided to play human royal as a
You don't
like
like up close
Templar,
and
and
personal.
that was pretty fun. No, I like to be observed from afar.
See, I've always,
Anyway,
like I said, I've always
so
been the
it doesn't
healer,
matter who I
so
took.
I understand.
Right. So it doesn't matter who I took. Either way, I just know Sten was in the party, and I went and frickin' what's her face, Morgan's mom. Why can't I think of it? I was planning on. Oh, I just had her
I forgot
name.
her name
What's her
too. It's been
name?
a while since I played.
Fuck it.
I'm drawing a blank
Flemeth,
myself.
Flemeth, Flemeth, Flemeth.
Flemeth. Oh,
Frickin'
Asha
Flemeth.
Balinar.
Yeah,
Asha
exactly.
Balinar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the old
Mm-hmm.
elven god. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, she's just like, well, you could lie to her and just take the grimoire, or you could follow in her deeds and do whatever. You can try to kill me, but you will fail. And I'm like, we'll see about that. Fuck you, I'm going to fight you. And so I proceeded to do so. It got down to the point where Flemeth killed everybody, and the only ones left was myself and Sten. Just as Flemeth was about to kill me, Sten does one of those critical attacks, slow motion attacks, by jumping on her face and literally murdering her face. And then Flemeth is dead. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like on the ground, knocked back, slowly dazed, slowly getting back on my feet, like, bro, you just saved my life. Like, I want to fuck this man. Oh my God. Like,
I
I'm in
knew it.
love
I
with
was
this
waiting
man.
on it. I knew that was coming. I knew
I'm
it.
like,
It was coming.
ah. But you can't. But you can't. And I'm so mad that you can't romance Dan so hard. And then when Dragon Age 2 comes out, right? And then they update their Chronari. And then I hate this the most. The era shock that is there. There is such high sexual intensity. Doesn't matter what sex you are. Doesn't matter if you're male or
Oh,
female. There is
Arashok?
sexual
Why
tension
him?
between you and the era shock, right?
Why the
And I'm just
Arashok,
like,
Yuffie?
dude,
Ugh.
the era shock. The era shock.
Why
Yeah, I have a thing
him?
for Quinaris. Like, oh my god, I am so much in love with the era shock. Like, holy hell. But then when Isabella came around, I'm like, okay, I see you.
Oh yeah, I was
And then,
Isabella. I
and
was
then,
Isabella, definitely. Big fucking
but
brown
my
lesbian I
romance that I
was.
always, yeah. But the romance, yeah, the romance that I decided to go with my female hawk was with Meryl. I'm sorry, but
Hmm.
Meryl is like such a cinnamon roll, and I wanted to protect her. She's just like, I want to resurrect this evil mirror, and I'm like, I don't care, Blood Rage, I'm
Oh,
gonna do it.
fuck that.
I'm with
I
you.
regretted that. Look, I actually made two save files for that. One where you actually help her do the mirror, which I regret, and then there's the other one where I tell her to fucking stop, and she curses you and says, "Don't ever fucking talk to me again." Like I remember making two save
Yeah.
files for that, just because I was curious, like how this would go.
Right.
Hmm.
I unfortunately did not, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll do it. Later, I regretted doing that, but like, 'cause I can't tell you how many times I fucking died with that fucking quest. The second
That
game
is
is
hard
there's no
because you're
joke.
pretty
It's like,
much
oh,
helping
you
her.
decided to
You're
go
pretty
to
much
the
helping her
Eevee. It's like,
wipe
okay,
out
guess
her
what? It's not
clan.
Eevee.
You're pretty much helping her wipe her whole
Yeah,
fucking
you
clan
had to
out.
wipe out her clan. Yep, yep. I fucking hated that because then a pride demon shows and you're just like, oh, great. Fuck my life.
Yeah, that's the worst thing you can do is help her with that fucking mirror. I'll never forget it. No.
I did. I can't tell you how hard it was. Like I had like basically what happened was when her clan started to attack me, I would run away. Like after I would kill somebody, I would run away, disengage to heal. Then I'd go back, kill another person, run away, disengage to heal, go back. Like it was like just it took me about an hour and a half just to do that fucking quest. I was not level, and that's the thing
Oh
about the
no.
second
Yeah.
Dragon Age is that they don't give you enough quests to level up. That was the only complaint
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah. Well,
That is the
naturally,
only
because
complaint I have.
also,
Like
well,
the
I
whole game was
also, I
great.
had a lot of complaint. Well, Dragon Age 2, I had a lot of things that was bothering me. I'm just like, one, I'm like, okay. Well, at the time, you have to understand this is before Inquisition came out. So at that time, I was thinking, like,
Yeah.
why does everything have to be revolved around Kirkwall? Why can't I go outside of these same go beyond these same three recycled areas outside the city? I want more. And I'm just like, why is it like everything is in
Right.
these same fucking spots? This has got to be a huge land. Where the fuck is this? At the time, I didn't know they were saving that for Inquisition, of course, which is huge. But I was just like,
Oh yeah,
okay,
it's a vast world, very
if
open.
I'm not in the city of Kirkwall, I'm either in this cave out in the sand or I'm underneath the city or something. I'm like, just the repetition of the same recycled areas used to get to me really damn badly. Like real bad.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
one
no.
thing that bothered the
Basically,
shit out of me.
yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, the thing is, like, I know with the second one they try to go with like a Mass Effect route because
Right.
EA had a hand in it, and basically, from my understanding, it was just like they also took like a more comic book route, which I actually enjoyed the color in it because it
Yeah,
was
that
like
was
a
cool.
nice, different change of pace. And then I also enjoyed the fact that it was just resolved around a character. Like you can give that character any kind of first name you wanted to. It could be Chicken Giblets. I don't fucking care. But the last name
It
was
could be chicken
awesome, so just
shit.
call it that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And so, and then with that, it's just like you get a story. You either get a brother or you get a sister. Now, for most of the gameplay that I've always played, I've always gotten the sister. Then finally, one time, I got the brother. And I guess it's just like upon random chance that I'm uncertain as to how that works.
Wait a
It's
minute.
either
Wait a minute. Are you
random
talking
chance or it's
about
based on your
hold on, Yuffie.
class.
Are you talking about when you start the game out, you
Yes.
whether Bethany
Yes. So when
dies
you
or
first start the
Carver
game,
dies? I know how that works. Like if
yeah,
you
like you don't get to choose. Yeah. So, yeah. So basically, from my understanding, is at the very beginning of the game when you create a character, either it's I don't know how it works. My assumption is it's based on your class,
no, I
but
know
from
how
what
it
I've been told,
works.
it's also on random chance.
I know exactly how that whole system
Yeah.
works. It's like because if you start out as a mage, Bethany's already a mage. They don't want two mages to go into Kirkwall. So if you start out as a mage, Bethany is dead. But if you start out as a warrior, whether that be a rogue or a two-handed, you will lose Carver either way. So you have a chance. You have a higher chance of always losing Carver if you're up close and personal. But you start as a mage, Bethany's fucked. Which I prefer to
Well,
start
that's the
out
thing.
with
That's what I'm
Bethany
saying. Like,
because I fucking hate Carver. Carver is one of the worst
yeah,
fucking
Carver's an
characters.
asshole. Bethany is more loving.
Yes, Carver
Yeah,
Carver
but
will
the thing is,
fight
what I'm
you
trying
on
to say.
everything. Ugh.
Yeah, he will. But
Mhm.
listen, so that's the thing, though. It doesn't make sense if you have like both the warrior and the rogue be both Bethany. So my guess is like if you are a mage, it's Carver. If you are a warrior, like a hand sword, whatever, then it will be Bethany. But if you're a rogue, then it could be either or. Like that's a 50-50 chance, because that would make more sense. Because with a rogue, you could either get Bethany or Carver because you're not necessarily a warrior. You're a rogue. You deal with long-ranged weapons and close-ranged weapons.
Yeah, that
You
does
know what I'm
make sense.
saying?
That makes sense. Yeah. Me personally, I've never
So
started as
anyway,
the rogue, so yeah, you might be on the side. Well, I played as rogue once, and Carver died, so I'm like, okay,
yeah.
yeah,
Right. I've
hmm
always either went as a warrior or a mage, just because with a warrior, it's like I've noticed that in the entire campaign of two, you have a shit ton of rogues, so there's
yeah.
no reason for you to be a rogue. You know, you
They're all
have
over the fucking,
Will,
all over
you have
fucking
Derek, and
Kirkwall.
you have
Yeah,
Bethany and
yeah,
Sebastian.
yeah. I never got him. You had to buy him or download him.
Yeah, if you got the Ultimate Edition, then you get him for free.
Right,
Otherwise, you'd have to buy him.
right.
And he's a romanceable option too, but he's more chastened because he's with the Church of
Oh, he's
Chantry.
with the damn circle, so naturally his penis is tucked in
Mm-hmm.
and nobody can touch it. Yeah, I
He's
know.
wearing the chastity belt.
Yeah, with the big ass iron Sora Kingdom Hearts
But
key on it is the only way you're getting it.